Hello, everyone. Marietta here, coming to uplift, motivate, and inspire. That's what we do over here. We always want to speak life into any and every situation, and we want to be able to grow this channel. I'm on a journey for 10K subscribers, so if you have not subscribed, and so many of you are watching have not subscribed, feel free to join the family. You would love it over here. It's peaceful over here, and we would be glad to have you. And for all my day ones have been rocking with me from day one, I really appreciate you. Thank you for showing up. And today we want to talk about what it looks like to be alone in the middle of a recession. To be alone in a recession. Because we are truly going through something right now. Right now we're going through something, and preparation is everything. And if you have not started preparing because you feel as though that you've heard people say you're not moving in fear, or you're not thinking that nothing bad is happening, or nothing is happening that you feel you need to be bothered with, okay, I have to respect your opinion. I have to respect that. But just know that right now we're headed for a recession, and we need to start preparing our homes, and we need to talk about it, and we need to prepare ourselves and get ready. There are so many people that don't have no one there with them but them. They have no one to help them to prepare. You may be living on a fixed income, and you may be allowing fear to take over you to a certain extent. Well, I want to let you know that it does give you some anxiety. It does stress you out. The unknowing always makes you feel weak. It always makes you feel like you're not empowered and you're not in control. It's hard to not be in control of your situation, your money, or what goes on around you. But we're living in a time where anything and everything is happening right now, and there's a lot of things that's going on right now that are totally out of your control, and you still got to be able to operate. So with you going to a recession by yourself with no one there to help you, no one's coming, and you feel as though that you're left powerless, well, I come to tell you you're not. You're not. There is some things you can do to prepare yourself. There's a lot of things you can do, and one of them is make sure that you have enough food in your pantry to hold you down for 6 months to a year. Just start buying you some extra food with the extra money that you do have. We all could figure out where we could cut costs. There's always a place where we could cut costs. There may be a lot of things that you've been doing recreationally that you may not be able to do right now. And that's perfectly fine. Use that money to be able to make sure that you're putting things away for survival. Only buy what you need. Only buy the things that you need. Make sure that you also save your few dollars to have dollars on hand for those things that do show up. But buying what you need is really important right now. Make sure that you get yourself some seeds to be able to put some seeds in the ground to be able to start growing you your own food. You are a single person if you're by yourself and you have no one there but you, and if you're a family, you do the same. But if it's so, it's just you and you're there by yourself, get yourself some flower pots. Put yourself some seeds in them flower pots. If and so, it's too much for you to go out there and till up the ground, and that will hurt your body, whatever. Plants can be grown in a tub. Plants can be grown. Tomatoes can be grown in a tub. Cucumbers can be grown in a tub. Carrots can be grown in a tub. Potatoes can be grown. Anything that you can put in the dirt, you can put in a flower pot. So just understand that those things can be grown other than you going outside doing a whole bunch of hard labor if you're not in position to be able to do that hard labor. And put them in the sun and make sure they get some water. And when you start thinking about your food pantry, buy things that actually can sustain you, that are going to give you lots of protein, and you need some carbs. It's going to give you some energy, and make sure that you got some filling foods, such as your oatmeal, such as your beans, such as your rice, such as your potatoes, such as some pasta. Make sure you got some things in your pantry that are going to keep you full. Get your cans of meat, your tuna fish, your chicken, your hamburger, your beef, all these things that come in a can, sardines, salmon, all these things come in a can. Start storing as much as you possibly can for you as being a single person or one person. It doesn't matter if you're one person or you are 50 people. You still need some of the very same things to be able to survive. I continue to keep telling people over and over again, as far as heat is concerned, even if you have electric heat, no matter what kind of heat you have, make sure you have some wood on hand. Keep yourself some wood on the property somewhere. If you own your own property, or whether you don't own your own property, you need to make sure that you got some wood somewhere so that you'll be able to create a situation where you can get warm if you need to get warm. If you got the bug out, make sure that you got the bug out bag packed and ready. And a lot of y'all are asking, what do you put in your bug out bag? A lot of things that you may need, I may not need. A lot of things I may need, you may not need, but only you know what you need and what you use on a daily basis. Those things to be put in your bug out bag. Those things that you're gonna use to survive. And so you have to leave where you are and know where you're going. Start figuring out other places that you can go. This is where it comes to connecting with other people. Even if you're single by yourself, you need to connect with somebody. Somebody needs to be checking on you at all times, because you need to know that there are some things that are happening in the earth that are out of our control. If you have never lived in a situation where you had lack in your house, or you've never been hungry before, you've never been in the dark before, you're afraid of the dark, you never lived in the dark, it's time for you to start training yourself to go through some things and to be able to function in a dark space. And that means even if you sleep with a light on, it's time for you to cut that light off and try to sleep in that room. Even if you only do it for half a night, start training your body to do some things. If you're used to eating 5-course meals, or used to eating a whole bunch of food on the plate, but yet you're living in situations that are below average, learn how to cut that plate in half. Turn that plate down. Learn how to fast and pray. It's time for you to learn how to give your body what it needs and not what it wants, because a lot of things we give our body is not what it needs, it's just what it wants, and we overeat. We continue to overeat, we continue to make ourselves tired and sluggish, and we continue to get ourselves into bad health because of the things that we're putting in our body. Readjust the things that you're putting in your body. I say it all the time. We must be getting ready to be some sexy people going through this recession, because there's going to be a lot of vegetables that you're going to need to eat. There's going to be a lot of water that you need to drink to stay hydrated, and you're going to be moving around a lot, because you're going to be trying to figure out the next thing for the next minute, the next hour, the next day, to keep yourself alive and for you to survive through this recession. The recession is definitely hitting. It's hitting right now, slowly but surely. You go to your Walmart, you see prices of everything going up. When I went to my local Walmart, let me tell y'all something. On a regular day, there's hardly anybody there working that store. You may have a couple registers open, but on the day that they're marking stuff up, that they're giving price hikes, the floor is crowded. So they're bringing you in. They're bringing a lot of you people in and hiring you for the day and hiring you through the temporary agents and things of that nature to be able to show you that the recession is coming, and they're going to use you to get it there, because they're going to use your strength and your body. Now, I'm not telling nobody not to go to work. But just pay attention while you at work at what it is they're having you to do. Your prices are going up, and they're going up, but your paycheck is going to stay the same. Your paycheck is going to stay the same. Even when you start buying these products, make sure you buy the products that are going to help you in a long run, that you need on your shelf. Don't just go up in there all willy-nilly and start just picking up a whole bunch of frozen this and frozen that and frozen this. Start getting some things for you to prepare that meal yourself, because a lot of those meals carry way too much salt, and you don't need all that extra ingredients, and you can't read the ingredients on the back of that thing, and you don't got words on that package that you don't even know what those words are. You don't know what you're putting in your vessel. It's time for you to pay attention to what you're putting in your body as well, and that way your coins will go a lot further, because you can buy those dry beans. It's good to have some canned beans. It's good to have some canned beans. But even with that, if you look at when I buy my canned beans, let me tell you what I do. When I eat beans out of a can, now this may change according to what we're facing and how we're facing, what my body needs. But some of them cans have way too much salt for me. So I'll rinse them lightly with a little bit of water to get some of the salt out of them, and then I re-season them my own way without the salt, so that they'll be okay with me. So I will load my cabinets up with bags of beans, because those beans I can cook. How you going to cook them if you don't have no electric, someone might say. I'm glad you asked. I'm so glad you asked, because that's when your grill outside comes into effect. That's when that wood that you saved outside will come into effect, when you can put it around on the ground and dig a hole, even if you have to start a fire, and take that very grate out of that oven and put over top of them bricks and set that pot on top of there, and you will be able to cook. You will be able to cook them very same beans. Soak them beans in a little bit of water overnight. That will help soften them up so they don't have to cook so long. You got to know how to function in the middle of this recession. When you're out there planting whatever it is you're planting to eat, make sure that you have gotten it where it can get some water, where there'll be a water source, that you have enough water to be able to water those very same items. And so you know somebody that knows how to can, and you have not asked them, could they can some things for you? You never know. They may even can some things for you to help you put some things on your shelf. But you got to be able to start Even by yourself, one person can make it through this. You still can make it through this. If you're one woman with 2 kids, you can make it through this. A lot of the questions and a lot of the things that I'm hearing as I go through my days, just checking my DMs and my messages and things, is coming from a lot of women that feel as though they're not going to be able to make it through this time, and they need that strength. They need somebody to speak life into them. It does not matter if you're one by yourself. So what if you're by yourself? In a recession, you still have to be able to function. But in the meantime, your tribe is going to be as strong as you make it. It's time for you to start connecting with some people. I did not say go out there and just pick up anybody and everybody to connect yourself with, but you need to connect with some like-minded people, because there are some people that I have been telling about the recession, telling them about preparation, telling them about the things that I'm doing to get myself prepared for what we get ready to go through, and they think I done lost it. Because they don't see none of this. They literally do not think that we're getting ready to go through a recession or we get ready to head into a depression state in this land. They don't see that. They don't see that. Why? Because they think their coins are going to save them from going through that. And it may for a little while. It may for a little while. But what is happening, and then first thing that says, I'm not moving in fear. This is not fear. This is faith. This is you preparing yourself. Even though I am a child of God, I am not a stupid woman. I am not a blind woman. And you're not a stupid person or a blind person either. You can see exactly what's happening, so you have to prepare. Hallelujah would definitely take care of you in heaven, but you live here. So you cannot be so spiritually grounded that you're no earthly good that you allow these things to just pass you by. Then when it all hits the fan, now you're running from door to door. Can I get this? Can you help me here? Can you this? When you had time to prepare because the alarm was set and the alarm was sent. We are truly headed for a recession. And as we are heading for this recession, it is in your best interest to start preparing yourself. Prepare yourself. I have even started watching the bills that come into this house and started cutting costs where I possibly can cut costs, because the enemy is behind the scenes trying to rob you of your money through your electric, through all different kinds of stuff, through your credit cards, through the banking, through everything. Start watching your coins. Start watching your coins. If you got to disconnect some things, cut some things off, and you got to make sure that you keep them lights off during the day, do what you got to do to bring them bills down to a minimum so that you'll have some extra cash on hand so that you'll be able to function in the middle of this. Somebody even asked me, well, and so they take away the American dollar, what are we going to use? The barter system. The barter system. There are some things that you may have around you in your house or whatever, out in your yard or whatever, that you may have to trade for the things that you need. I've seen this movie before. I've lived this life. Going through these struggles, I understand them very well. I understand what it is to have to get that flour and make a biscuit. So while you're using this internet right now as a single person to actually create these videos, it's time for you to start using them for things that are actually going to benefit you. I've even said before, write down some recipes if you think you need a recipe. But I was taught that you put it in a pot. Put it in a pot. Put it in the pot. It will cook. I remember Mother used to put a lot of different things in a pot. And when I say a lot of different things, she would also have chicken in the pot. She would take tomatoes and onions and carrots and beans and potatoes and everything and put it all in a pot. And that would be the best pot in the world that will warm the belly of her 11 children. So you got to learn how to do things out of the norm. Sometimes you might have peanut butter with no jelly, but that peanut butter will give you lots of protein. That peanut butter will give you some energy, and that peanut butter will keep you alive. Because truly be told, the jelly is only sugar. But that protein is what you need. So get them jars of peanut butter and put them on the shelf. It's time for you to start taking your life seriously, even as a single person. Living alone in a recession can still be done, and you still can survive. And you still can make it through it. But you got to not just lay down and just let this thing happen without you preparing it, without you getting yourself mentally, physically, and spiritually ready. Right now, we're in the middle of a praying time. The recession is already started, and you are going to be behind if you don't get up and get started and start covering your house right now. You got to start putting some things in the ground. Go get yourself some fruit trees. Put them in the ground. Go get yourself some plants. And even if you don't start them from seed and you go to your local Lowe's or the box stores and get them, get you something. Get you something on hand. Get your 5-gallon buckets and start putting your beans and your rice and your potatoes and your sugar and start putting all that stuff together. Get on YouTube and see exactly how they're preserving these things. How are they keeping them long periods of time without letting them get bugged and all that in them? You got to do your homework. You might not need a whole 5-gallon bucket. You might need a 3-gallon bucket because it's just you. But if you can do a 5-gallon bucket, that would be even better so that you can make sure that you got enough food to last. Well, how are we going to get water? How are we going to get water if we lose the water? That's another thing. These are things you got to be thinking about. But one thing I do want you to think about, and I want you to think about this wholeheartedly, and I want you to think about this first before you do anything. How are you going to power your refrigerator to keep your food if the grid goes down? When you're living off grid like I'm living off grid, you think about these things and you begin to move to these things. I am myself. I'm not telling y'all do nothing that I'm not doing. I am looking into getting myself a bigger power bank. I do have one, but I'm looking into getting one that actually will power a refrigerator for a period of time. More than just a few hours. I need one that's going to power a refrigerator for a couple of days. I need something to recharge that. How am I going to recharge that? I do know that you have to have some type of way to recharge either your solar panels or you have to have a generator. Gas generator will recharge it. You got to have some way to recharge these battery packs. Even if you're by yourself, you need to prepare. But in the meantime, start talking to some people. Start talking to some other people that maybe you can connect with, maybe you can team up with, maybe you can work with. Because it's very hard to fight an army by yourself. We're going to a recession. Walking through a recession alone can't be done, and you can make it through it. But you got to be smart. You got to be smart about it. You got to be smart about how you're spending your money, how you're spending your time. You got to be smart about the things that you're putting together and how you're doing what you need to do. But you can make it through this recession, even if you're by yourself. Just don't sleep on the things that are going on in the world and close an eye to the fact that it's not happening, because it's already happening. Ready or not, it's coming. It's coming. Prepare yourself. Get prepared for going through this recession, even if you are alone. So with that being said, I pray that this blesses somebody. I pray that it'll get you up and get you moving. I pray that it will inspire, motivate you to be able to get started right now, to be able to take care of yourself even through this. You've taken care of yourself all these years. You can take care of yourself through this if you have to, but you have to get up and start doing the things that you need to protect your home and to protect yourself through this recession, because it's not no more if it's going to happen. It's already happening, and we're already going, get ready to go through it. So get yourself ready. As you see your stores locking up everything, as you see the price of everything going up, as you see the fact that your money's not getting any your paycheck is not getting any bigger, and you have to work with less, but yet the price is still going up. And then when you go buy what you're buying, you notice that you're getting less food in your packaging. You may go buy potato chips and you get this many potato chips in a bag that this big, but they want $5 and $6. They want more money, but giving you less. Keep your eyes out for this type of thing. Don't let this thing rob you of your coins. It'd be even better for you to get a 5-pound bag of potatoes and slice them and learn how to fry them, deep fry them if you want some potato chips. Put them in your oven if you want some potato chips. Learn how to put them in your air fryer if you want some potato chips. But do not give them $5 and $6 for a bag and you only paying for paper and it's got air in it and you got this much potato chips laying down the bottom of the bag. Be careful in how you're doing your shopping right now, because the enemy is out there to steal, kill, and destroy, and it will destroy you if you allow it. It would not, you got to fight for you. So I'm telling you, even if you're in this recession and you're fighting by yourself, continue to fight and you'll be just fine. Keep a strong prayer life. And this is Marietta Coleman. She's coming to inspire, motivate, and uplift. And I pray that there's something I said that would help you get through this recession a lot easier and a lot better and a lot calmer. So to God be with you. I love you until I see you again.